So welcome to this short practice for lower back support. Timothy is joining me today, so he will be demonstrating, and I will be giving some modifications and showing them. Just remember that when you have an acute problem with the lower back, it's not the time to practice. This is more of a prevention type of practice, and it's just good for anything. I mean, all of us experience lower back problems at some point, so this is a really good prevention practice. Or maybe if you're having just a little bit of a discomfort, that can also be helpful. All right, and as usual, remember not to push too hard. It's not always necessary to do the most strenuous variation of a pose, and just listen to your body. All right? Okay. Ready? Okay, lie down on your back, please. All right. Pull the knees into the chest. And now hold the back of your thighs. Yeah. Okay, try to relax your lower back on the ground. All right, and now push your thighs into your hands, like you're pulling your thighs away from your chest. Yeah. Just keep that connection and then take a few breaths. The breath should be relaxed. And make sure your breath is not superficial, but without too much effort. And still pressing the thighs into the hand. Just one more breath here. Okay, and then on your next inhalation, straighten the legs. Inhale, straighten the legs, just to the degree you can. Keep the connection, hold the thighs, yep. Keep that connection, and then exhale, bend the knees. Good. Do it a few more times with the breath. Inhaling, straightening the legs, pressing the thighs into the hands. Exhaling, bending the knees. Yep. Do it a couple more times. Good. And one more. So this seemingly simple movement is really good for the lower back. It's very subtle work. Okay, and bend the knees. Good. You can place the feet down on the ground. Relax your hands. Good. And now bring the legs up towards the sky. And now press the lower back into the ground. Yeah, take a few breaths here. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, you can bend the knees slightly, but we're looking to have straight legs just as much as possible. Drop the tailbone. Good. And now think, so your spine is in a natural curve, and think elongation of the spine. Can you bring your legs up a little bit more? Maybe bending the knees slightly. Yeah, that's good. Very good. So again, reiterating that long spine, and there's a natural curve in the spine here. Okay. And now bend your knees, bring the feet down to the ground, and just take a moment to observe how you're feeling, how your lower back is feeling, and that general area of the body. Okay, and now I'm going to ask you to turn around on the mat so your head is towards that wall, and make sure you have enough room behind you to extend your arms. Good. Okay, bend your knees, please. Feet into the mat. Yep. And bring the arms down. Arms down alongside the body. And now notice the connection of the lower back with the ground. Now on your next inhalation, roll the arms over the head, pressing the lower back into the ground. Exhale, lower. Keep the lower back down. So what we continue, what we are after here is keeping the spine long and maintaining the connection of the lower back with the ground. So you're not letting your lower ribs pop up, and think elongation in the spine. Okay, now bring your awareness to your lumbar spine, the lower part of the spine. Good. And now keep the arms over the head. Taking a few deep, slow breaths here. Spine long. Feel the length in your spine. Now extend your arms over the head vigorously. So stretching the shoulders. Pulling the elbows away from the body, the wrists. Good. And now release the arms down alongside. Good. And observe. Take a couple of breaths observing yourself. Good. And now roll over to one side. And push yourself up onto all fours. So, taking the tabletop. Your wrists are underneath the shoulders. Your knees are underneath the hip joints. The spine is neutral. Okay, and start your cat-cows. Inhaling, arching the back, lifting the chin, exhaling, rounding the back. Good. And let's keep the awareness on the movement in the lower back. And make sure that you are not crunching your lower back when you come into your cow stretch like this. Yeah, good. Okay, let's add on. On the exhalation, push the buttocks back to the heels, rounding the back, yes. And then on the inhalation, arching the back, come back up onto all fours. Yeah, do that a couple more times. Bend the elbows as you're sitting down on your heels. Good, good. Okay, let's do it one more time. Inhale, come up to your cow stretch. Yes, and then exhale, round the back, bend the elbows, push back into child's pose. Good. And now take your child's pose with your knees together, please. Yep. Okay, let's take a couple of resting breaths in your child's pose and think about creating space in your lower back. Good. And now stay in child's pose like this, but walk your hands away from you. So, yeah, slowly walk your fingers away from the head. Good. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Good. And now on the inhalation, come up, sit on your heels. Okay, can you turn to the camera, please? So let's try this for you. So I'm gonna place this. I'm gonna place it on your legs actually. So bring the lower legs a little closer. Okay, and now sit like this and see if does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sit next to you here. All right. Okay. Let's bring on the inhalation. Let's bring the arms over the head, and now squeeze the fingers together. Not the hands, but the fingers, like this. So you're squeezing the fingers together. Good. Abdominals in. Reach the arms up, but the shoulders are down. Good. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths here. Length, 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 and space. One more deep breath here. Good. And release the arms down and rest. Okay, we're coming to standing. Okay, come to the wall, please. Okay, Now place your hands on the wall like this, a little bit higher than your shoulders. So that your fingertips, and then like cup your fingertips like that, so your fingertips are a little bit higher than your head. Good. And now press the heels of the hands to the wall. So press the hands to the wall. Yeah, very good. And then as if you are coming into downward dog, so start pressing the backs of the thighs to the back, lowering the head in between the upper arms. Yes. Don't hang the head, keep it like neutral, so your ears are next to your upper arms. Yes, very good. Okay, so take a few deep breaths here. Engage the abdominals on the exhalation. Hips are pressing back. So you're working with the breath here, squeezing the abs on the exhalation. Yep, good. One more breath. And then do whatever you need to do to come up to standing, maybe bending the knees, maybe taking a step to the wall, or just coming up in any way. No, turn to the camera, please. And take a rest, standing and observing again. Maybe close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but observe what's going on in the body. Okay, come back to the wall, please. Hands on the wall again. And then fold forward about halfway, and you can bring your hands lower. Yeah, that's enough. That's pretty good. Okay, and here you can soften the knees if you need to. Good. Yeah, and then lower down if possible a little bit more. Yeah, good. So you can bend the knees as much as you need to here. Just what you don't want here is for your lower back to round. So if you start noticing that your lower back is rounding, bend the knees a little bit more and maybe not come down so low. Okay, another breath or two here. Okay, good. And now with the bent knees on the inhalation, come up to standing. Slowly. Good. Very good. Okay. And now come to the wall with your back to the wall, please. Okay. So your feet will be about hip distance apart. Good. And hands pressed to the wall like this. Press your back to the wall. Yeah, like that. Hands to the wall, back to the wall. So you have the support. Relax. Take a few breaths. Okay, good. And turn around now. Turn around. So we're gonna work with the warrior 3 at the wall. So place your hands at the wall like this at about hip level, like this. And then start walking the feet back until you have about 90-degree angle between the upper body and the lower body. Okay, you need to, let's see, step your feet forward just a little bit, a couple of inches. Yes, Very good. And you can soften the knees here if you wish. All right, good. So now, well, actually you could step your feet a little bit closer, maybe 2 inches closer to the wall. Yeah, and feel free to bend the knees here if you need to. Timothy has a little bit of a hamstring injury at this time, so he has to be really careful about his hamstrings here. All right, and now work with the breath here. So squeezing the abdominals on the exhalation and then releasing on the inhalation. Pressing the inner thighs to the back. Good. Just don't do it too hard. So you should still be able to breathe freely. Okay, so because of his injury, he is gonna stay in this position and breathe. Use the breath to facilitate the pose, right? And I'm gonna show a different variation here. If you wanna do that, let me see, so I don't wanna kick you here. All right, so like this, so still, Timothy, if you need a break, you can take a break and then come back into the pose. So if this is available to you, engage the abdominals and then lift one leg behind you. Breathing here. Good, and then take that foot down and lift the other leg, abs in, breathe here. Good, and lower the other foot. Okay, and now we prepare for coming up. So bend the knees, come up, and take a tall stand. And breathe here. Standing tall, crown of the head reaches up to the sky. Take a few breaths. Notice maybe you've grown half an inch here. Good, release. All right, come with your back to the wall, please.
This one?
That one. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. All right. So back to the wall. Now walk your feet away from the wall and lower down into a chair pose. So try to have your thighs parallel to the ground, but for those for whom this might prove to be too much, you can come up and have as much or as little bend in your knees as possible. Okay, so abdominals in, back is pressed into the ground. Good, and now extend your arms parallel to the floor, palms down. Yep. Okay, let's take just maybe 1 or 2 breaths here. Abs in. Now pull the arms back into the shoulder sockets. Yeah, but they're still straight. Good. Good. So you'll notice how that presses the shoulder blades into the wall. Yeah. Good. Okay, and now if possible, lift the arms all the way up. Abs in. Okay, let's take another couple of breaths here. Good, and then lower the arms. Good, and come up. Good, all right, then feel free to shake it off if you need to. Okay, and again, take Tadasana, mountain pose. And feel yourself grow taller, another ½ inch. You've grown taller, another ½ inch here. Come down to child's pose, please. And any child's pose that's restful for you. come down. Okay, see if you can create spaciousness and freedom around the lower back area, around the lumbar spine. Using your breath for that. Come lie down on your belly, please, and bring your hands underneath the shoulders for cobra. Okay, bring your feet together. Yeah. Okay. And now very gentle cobra. On the inhalation, lift the chest and the head. Think lengthen the spine. Don't throw the head back. Yeah, good. Exhale, lower. Again, 2 more times. Inhaling, using the back muscles, lift up. Yeah, no need to come up high. Exhale, lower. Good. Bring the elbows into the body a little bit more. Yeah, good. 1 more time. Exhale, lower. Good. And now rest. Relax your arms. Rest. Good, and now come to all fours. Okay, let's move the mat a little bit to the back. Okay, alright, take your child's pose please with the knees apart. Good, extend the arms over the head. Yeah. A couple of deep breaths here. Okay, and now walk your hands over to the right. So you're folding over the right knee, stretching the left side, but keep the hands at about shoulder distance apart. Good. And then walk the hands over to the other side, folding over the left knee, hands shoulder distance apart, and breathe into the stretch on the right side. Yeah. Okay, good. Come back to center. And now transition to lying on your back with the knees bent. Okay, and bring the knees into the chest. And now hold the backs of the thighs again. Good. And now with the breath, straighten the legs up to the sky. Push the thighs into the hands and then bend the knees on the next breath. Yeah, and do it 2 more times. The same thing we did in the beginning. 1 more time. Good, and this time keep the legs outstretched. Maintain the connection of the thighs and the hands. Good. Yes. And take a couple of breaths in this position. Good. And now you can bend the knees, place the feet down, relax. Relax, yeah. A couple of relaxing breaths here. Okay. Now step your feet out to the sides of the mat. And you can take your arms and hands to wherever you want. Then we're going to windshield wiper the knees a couple of times with the breath. So inhaling while the knees are pointing up, and then exhaling, lowering the knees to one side, and continue like that. Then inhaling, bringing the knees up, exhaling to the other side. Do it a couple more times to each side. Okay, and now, yeah, drop the knees to the right, like that. Good. And leave them there. So we want this variation of the spinal twist with the knees away from the chest. So do not pull the knees closer to the chest. Yep. Good. Relax. Take a few breaths. Good. On the inhalation, bring the knees up. And exhale, take the knees to the other side, all the way down. Yep. Keep the knees low, not close to the chest. Yeah, just like that. Very good. Yeah. Relax. Take a couple of deep breaths. Good. And come to center. So bring the knees back up to center and take a couple of resting breaths here. All right, now scoot towards me, please, a little bit so you have room for your arms behind your head. Okay, lie down, and the knees are bent. Good. Arms alongside the body. Good. Now, like we did in the beginning, roll your arms over the head with the breath. Inhaling, arms roll over the head. Yep. Keeping the lower ribs down into the body. Exhale, bring the arms down. 2 more times like that. One more time. And this time keep the arms over the head. Keep the arms over the head.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. And take a few breaths. Good. And now you can bring the arms down. And so now is the time for relaxation. And for our purpose in this practice, this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna place this folded blanket under Timofey's lower back, just for softness and comfort. And a bolster under his knees. Okay, you can relax your legs and you can move the bolster anyway. Is that good? Okay, I'm gonna ask you to relax your arms down with the palms up. Yes, just like that. So this is a really restful and comfortable position most of the time for your lower back, and actually a really helpful position of rest, keeping the health of the lower back in mind. So take your time, making yourself really comfortable. You can gently roll your head side to side. You can move your shoulder blades a little bit. And then when you're ready, start moving towards stillness. Allow yourself to relax. You can do a progressive scan of your body on your own, from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes and fingers, relaxing each body part. as you're moving your awareness from one body part to the next. Or you can just rest here. See if you can bring a little bit more relaxation with every exhalation to your body and the mind. Without striving, without grasping. Just lying here and allowing your body to absorb everything and assimilate everything that we've done so far. And please feel free to stay in this position as long as you have time for, as long as you wish. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.